So, I am attempting a recipe from the Nerdy Nummies cookbook. Fan of hers, so I'm attempting one of her recipes. I'm attempting the brownies recipe in her book. The first step, I already measured a cup and 2 tablespoons of sugar already in my bowl. Next step says half a cup of all-purpose flour, so I'm going to put my sugar away, and then I'm going to So now I'm going to measure my flour. It says I need half a cup. So I've got my half a cup. I'm going to use the back of a knife to level off my Now I've leveled it off. And it's now going to go into my mixture with all the sugar already in it. Just to put away my flour. Next step is to measure the cocoa powder. It says unsweetened, but we don't have unsweetened, so we're just using regular. It's a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. And I'm going to level it off with my knife. Like so. With the back of my knife. Okay. Now I don't need the cocoa powder anymore, so I'm going to pause the video while I put it all away. Now, the next step says I need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So, I have my baking powder here. Not sponsored. I'm going to level off with my knife. And put it into my bowl. Now I'm pausing the video again to put away. The next step would have been to add salt, but my family doesn't like adding salt in stuff. So it would have been 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going into our wet ingredients, which next is vegetable oil, but we don't have vegetable oil, so we're substituting it with olive oil. So it tells me that I need half a cup of vegetable oil or olive oil. So I have a dish like this, and it's going to catch any excess that I spill, in case I spill. I didn't spill, thankfully. Okay, now I'm pouring it into my mix. So now I'm going to pause the video while I put away my ingredients. So I made a little mistake, and I was supposed to mix the dry ingredients in before I added any wet. But the next step is to add the wet, so we're just going to see how it works. And it says next step is to measure a 1/3 cup of whole milk, but we're replacing that with skim milk, because that's what my family likes to drink. So I'm going to have this tray again to catch any spills in case I make them. Which I did this time. This is why I'm supposed to do this in a liquid measuring cup. But I didn't want to make another dish for myself. So, I'm going to pause it. So, my next step is to get a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And so, I'm going to pour it into the bowl, the dish I showed you earlier. I can't show it again because it has milk in it right now. So, I've got my teaspoon here. I'm going to pour it into my mix. So next, I'm going to crack a large egg. I'm going to put it into this just in case I get shells. That way I can take them out before I put it in. So I'm just going to crack this. And I got no shells, so that's good. Now I'm going to add my egg, because I didn't get any shells in it, into my mix. And we don't have a whisk, so I'm using a fork. This should be fun. So, my mix looks like this right now. I don't know how best that angle is, but I'm recording on a tablet. So, I'm going to whisk it, and I'm going to pause while I whisk, and then the next time you see me, the batter will be good to go. So, the whole reason why I wanted to do the brownies is because I got this mold on the same day I got the book. So, I want to use it. It's supposed to look like, the brownies are supposed to end up looking like these little poop emojis, and then I'm going to make the icing in a little while. So, I'm going to pour it here when I'm done. And I think I've got a good consistency to pour it in. I'm a big fan of Rosanna Pansino's videos, so this is the mixture right now, and then I'm going to put it into the brownie container. Then I'm going to cook it, and it tells me to cook it for 20 to 25 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. I won't be able to videotape myself pouring it, because I can't, but I will pour them in, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're poured in. So I rinsed off my sheet before I put any batter into it. Now I'm going to put the batter into it, and I probably will have extra, because this makes enough for 9 to 16 brownies, and as you can see, this mold only has enough for 6. I also got these little rubber spatulas that I'm going to use to get the batter into the mold. I put a metal tray, cookie sheet, whatever you call it, underneath, just so that it'll be easier to pick up when it's hot with the oven mitts. Now that was surprisingly enough for the mold. I thought I'd have a lot extra, but I have quite a bit. Okay. Apologize, I don't know good camera angles. Okay. So this is how much I got out of it. I was very surprised. I thought I'd have a lot extra, but that was enough. Like, wow. So I'm going to put it into the oven, and I'll get back to you when I'm done.